hey, didn't see you there. Yeah, I'm no longer soft. I'm kind of a tough guy. I'm pretty much a biker gang member, so to show you how tough I am, I'm about to eat chicken nuggets without any sauce. This one of the worst days of my life. Tokyo Revengers, written and illustrated by Ken Wakui, is the latest manga written by this creator after a rather rich history of other works like Abaddon and Desert Eagle. All with varying degrees of success, but it's inarguable that Tokyo Revengers is by far his biggest manga yet. Starting serialization in 2017 with 23 volumes, there's already 35 million volumes in circulation, which outsells the likes of Black Clover, Assassination Classroom, Death Note, The Promised Neverland, and that's without Tokyo Revengers being published in the West so far, which could be for a few reasons, like publishers being unsure if it will sell here and the popular theory of there being... Excuse me? Concerned that people won't know the manji symbol, which can represent a wide variety of things such as peace, divinity, and spirituality, but due to its close similarity to a symbol that is very representative of the opposite of that, it's possible that there could be confusion, which concern for that would be seen in the fact that the opening and one of the outros were censored to remove the symbol. It's understandable, but regardless, it's unfortunate. However, in 2020, Kodansha gave it its 44th annual manga award for the shonen category, beating out properties like Eden Zero. For anyone keeping track, that's Tokyo Revengers 1, Eden 0, and 0. The production of this manga has a few interesting things, like in an interview, Ken Wakui said one of the editors wanted to read a story about Yankee, which is basically the word to describe the idea of a delinquent. But not really knowing how they behave nowadays, he decided to make a time travel story back to a time period where he was one, which makes you wonder which parts are based on realistic experiences or not. I don't think time travel was a part of it, but hey, I wasn't there. While he didn't publicly reveal what the gang's name was or anything like that, there is a picture of him online in a gang, and that picture is replicated in a Tokyo Revenger scene, so there is grounds to believe that a lot of what's featured in this story is pretty realistic. With exceptions, of course, but yeah, with that being said, let's move on to the anime, and we can open with the opening. Yeah, I'd love to talk about it, but I forgot what show we're covering. Oh! It opens with the logo and pans down and does a very similar camera swing to the Bungo Stray Dogs opening to reveal one of the main characters, Takemichi's biggest allies, Naoto. Then we get shots of different characters doing what they do, and that guy with the face tattoos in middle school. He actually got that tattoo when he was 10 years old, so add him to the list of 10-year-olds that are cooler than me. Oh, he was actually already on here. The song is great, but the one issue I have with some of the scenes in this opening is they are quite literally spoilers for events that happen later. Which a lot of anime tend to do, but honestly it feels vaguer normally. I mean, I didn't know the context that some of this stuff happens, but I did know that these events happened, and I don't know, man. I will, however, say I really like the rest of the opening. Everyone's framed well to the point where I have a good feeling of who these characters are and their connections to each other, and we get a good feeling to Takemichi and his struggles. It does a great job highlighting his pain for his goal, and it doesn't make it look any fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go back in time and join a gang just to show you it's a lot better than what he makes it out to be. They made fun of my Fortnite shirt! Now onto the actual story. I adore it. The plot is the main character Takemichi is a loser in his mid-20s that kinda can't get a win to save his life, cause when he was a kid after middle school being bullied by tough people to do their bidding, he got the hell out of there till he found out on the news his childhood girlfriend was killed along with her brother. Then he gets pushed in front of a train and boom, he's 12 years in the past. I don't think that's how you're supposed to travel on a train. And when he travels back in time, we see him hit the moment that made him run away, where his friends wanted to be gang members, but they are obviously not gang members. Then, unintentionally, the main character said something that ended up saving the life of the girlfriend's little brother, and well, Takemichi changed the past, and through a handshake, he's sent back to the present. Time for my favorite part! Explaining time travel. I love this part. So, to travel to and from the past, the trigger is shaking the hand of this guy, Naoto, and by doing that, Takemichi goes exactly 12 years back into the past to the second. So if Takemichi waits an hour, he won't go back to the same time where if he didn't wait an hour, his power to leap time runs parallel to his time. Yes, I made an actual visual to demonstrate it. And he can stay in the past for as long as he wants, but when he leaps back, it's directly 12 years in the future. So if he's in the past for a week, he's going back to the future a week later than he left. You want me to time travel? How do you expect me to pencil that into my schedule? You know? Thinking about it? isn't that the part that time travel is supposed to fix? But since Takemichi knows he can change the past and it triggers a handshake, he can go back and forth time traveling to prevent whatever bad things happen in the present, and with the plot, we can go on to the amazing characters. First, we have the protagonist who gets his ass kicked to change the future and uses future knowledge to base his huge risks off of, but it doesn't always go well as he would hope, usually resulting in him, well, crying. There is Mikey, who has all the charisma in the world but none of the mental stability, often being the trigger in the future that resulted in some bad thing happening that Takemichi has to fix. But he isn't a bad guy, so a lot of the plot revolves trying to save Mikey from himself. He's known for his incredible kicks and having his name be one letter away from the world's most famous mouse. There is Draken, who I mentioned before, who somehow comes off as the sweetest person and the scariest person, which is very true to his character, actually. There is Takemichi's childhood girlfriend in question, Hinata, that carries all the mental stability of the show, and according to the wiki, likes dolphins, so that's good. I'll drink to that. There are a lot of characters that have perfect placements within the story that slowly adds more and more as the story progresses. They are used as fantastic and believable obstacles, allies, or just in general spectators. While the time travel is at least as interesting as time travel usually is, this is a story about its characters, hating some and loving some. You become synced with Takemichi with how much he wants to save his friends and his anger towards the people that hurts them. And probably one of the most interesting things that the main character adds to the series is, you know how in a lot of shonen that no matter how bad the fight is, you know the main character's gonna win? I'm sure you can guess what the opposite of that is. Before I wrap this up, it would be a huge mistake to not cover the outros and just how great they are as endings to an anime. I normally don't cover the endings too much because I mostly just skip them, but in Tokyo Revengers they do a good job at capturing everything outside of what the opening does. The first one focuses on Hinata going through the motions, and it highlights Takemichi's determination, which the opening goes a bit light on to hammer home really how much he has to endure. Yeah, since he's in 2005, he's gonna have to wait 5 more years until 2010 before he can get McDonald's oatmeal. That's just a fate worse than death if he stays there. There's a second intro which I adore so much, how this could have easily been an opening by itself. It highlights 4 primary characters, that being Takemichi, Mikey, Draken, and a character I haven't mentioned yet being Chifuyu, who's honestly probably one of my favorite characters. And in this outro there's even a recreation of one of the manga's cover pages. This just does a phenomenal job creating hype for the fight or event referred to as Bloody Halloween. Bloody Halloween? My costume this year was gonna be a guy in a nice clean white shirt. My plans are ruined! Tokyo Revengers is a show and manga that keeps you on the edge of your seat for the majority of its story, giving you brief breaks here and there, but at no point did I really know what was gonna happen next. Even events that get set up get circumvented and replaced with something else. I just love this story and I can't recommend it enough. It has sold 35 million volumes for a reason, and in my opinion the anime is really damn good as well. Well, since I gotta be the one to bring it up, here's what I'm gonna do. To prove that time travel is good, I'm gonna go back in time with some lottery numbers in my head, come back rich. I'll see you 5 years my time. Oh, I didn't see you there. Did you know when people say they're gonna go back in time with lottery numbers, they mean the winning numbers? I accidentally memorized the prize pool instead.